So I tried a tutorial a while back. It wasn't very good, so I decided to give it another shot. This one's a little more hands-off. I'm showing different shading techniques used. The first one at the bottom is using a gradient, which is going from the lightest to the darkest. If you want good practice with it, this is a good practice method. You start with the darkest shade and you shade each box until you get to the final the paper white, and leave that as your one through your darkest, and then whenever you're drawing, that's as dark as you get and as light as you get. And then the only other thing you got to pay attention is to where the light's coming from. If you can tell, the light's coming from the top, so the lightest part will be the 1 at the top, and then your darkest will be the 6 at the bottom, and that's what you're trying to go for. And then starting from the top left, that's a style of shading done with pen. It's called cross hatching. You do variants in line, either horizontal, vertical, parallel, from left to right, or from right to left. But you always do them intersecting until you get a fine gradient coming out. I'm not very good at that, as you can tell, but your whole goal is the more lines you have, the darker it is. The less lines you have, the lighter it gets. The next one is pointillism, done with dots, and it's the same thing with cross hatching. The more dots you have, the darker it gets. The less dots you get, the lighter it gets. And you do that finding where your light is. That one's from the top again. The cross hatching was from the left, and the one on the right is this called scribbling technique. You just make scribbles. The more scribbles you have, the darker it is. The less you get out, the less scribbles you have. I didn't do the shadows under that, which I just caught now. I should have done that. But to show you that you can do these in pencil, slide down my paper. Though you can't see them as well, you got cross hatching on the left, pointillism in the middle, and scribbling on the right. Now with the cross hatching, there's different types of this that you can use, and I got the types off to the side. Hatching is just using one type of line, whether it be vertical or horizontal or parallel, and you just keep that same all the way through your drawing. The closer they are, as you see at the bottom, the darker it is, the less space in between your lines, the lighter it gets. So you can shade with just vertical lines, horizontal, or parallel, whatever you want. And then with the cross contour is you're molding to the shape of your object. If you have a ball or a round ball, your lines will be rounded to fit it, and then your cross lines will be rounded the same way. I'll show a demonstration here shortly. And then wavy lines. And what you're doing is making wavy lines. The closer they are, the better, the darker it gets, just like cross hatching or hatching. But each one has its own unique style and look. If you're using pen a lot, then you should practice all these styles and use a variety of them in your drawings. That way they look better and more realistic with texture and stuff. So all I can say is practice a lot, and hopefully you'll get the hang of it. I'll show you some cross contour lines. Let's say you were going with a circle, and what your thing is you're trying to do with it, if my pen would work here, is to get them rounded like this. The more rounded they are to fit the object, and then you'd round your cross lines the same way. And you'd keep doing that over and over again until you got the dark you want, just like that. So that's the cross contour lines, which I didn't show a very good one of, so that's why I wanted to show you. But alright, I hope you liked it, and I'll try to be back with another one.